In this video, we're going to clean up and bring back to life some old shop tools. So if you have some damaged or worn equipment that you want to bring back to life, save yourself a lot of money instead of throwing it away and buying new, then this video is for you. Hi, I'm Michael. Behind the camera is Ellie. We are the Bill Paying Hobbyists, and we use our hobbies and skill sets to pay off debt and to buy a house. Today, we're going to clean up some old shop tools. I could use a new table saw, and I don't want to buy a new one because we're trying to stay with our goals and not spend a lot of money. So I'm going to take this table saw, tear it apart, clean it up, put it back together, and use it. Stay with us till the end. We'll show you a little secret to get rid of those really tough rust stains. I got this table saw, the 10-inch Delta chop saw, and the planer, which is also Delta, table saw's Craftsman, from my brother. He gave it to me for free. It's been sitting in a shop for a long time and hasn't been used, so we need to clean it up. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna work on the table saw. We're gonna plug it in first to even see if it works. I'm gonna make sure the blade's not rubbing, of course. And then we're gonna start tearing it apart and cleaning it up.
This is going to take a lot of work, but I have really high hopes for them.
Let's get started.
This looks like a DIY dust collection system. I need to take this apart and remove all the old sawdust.
I got all that debris and the dust out of the collector that he made at the bottom. It's cleaned up. The blade is turning true. It's not wobbling around. And I plugged it up. I'm going to turn it on and see if it even cuts. And then I know what I got to do after I get it clean. If it runs, not much I have to do. If it doesn't, then we're going to have to look at the motor. Everyone's clear. Here we go. Test. It runs. The blade is pretty daggone sharp. I don't have any furring or anything sitting off spurring or anything coming off of that. I'm going to unplug it. We're going to take all the parts apart and we're going to start cleaning it off. By cleaning it off, I mean we're going to get rid of the rust.
Hey, just wanted to interrupt. Don't forget to buzz the like button and subscribe. Go! Nice. If you have any old equipment that you want to refurbish, make sure you inspect everything as you take it apart. Look for broken pieces and especially look for any metal that might be rusted through.
So I got the motor off, belt off, extensions off. I'm not going to take it apart much further than this. Possibly remove it, keep from here, remove it from the stand. From there I can get all the dust off and then I'll start working on getting the rust off of here.
I found a recipe online to clean my grill using white vinegar and baking soda. I enhanced it by using Barkeeper's Friend.
Alright, so it's been an hour, it's all dry, and so I'm going to add a little more vinegar to a green pad and get to scrubbing. Ooh, amazing. Ooh, that's pretty. Unfortunately, this area here, this stuff like this is all pitting from age. I don't know that I'll ever get that out, but the rust is gone, and that's what's important, because I can coat this. I'm going to take this part off so I can put it on that cardboard, turn it upside down so I can get inside here and clean everything up, and then I can get all this and hopefully get it clean. Once I get all this cleaned off, I will see if there's any rust that really needs to be addressed, clean it off, and then be done with it. And move on to the table saw. I'm not using any solutions. I'm just wiping it down with a rag and a toothbrush.
Now that it is upside down and I am cleaning the inside, I can actually conduct a more thorough inspection.
A little bit of fluid film. Gonna spray all underneath here just to, you know, stop any more rust and lubricate all this stuff under here. So we'll just let that sit and soak in while I do other stuff, and then I'll wipe it down later. I'm gonna clean the motor. It doesn't need a lot. I'm just gonna wipe it down and blow it off. Move on to the extension table. Little light coat of fluid film, and this will keep it from rusting.
I used the same vinegar solution to clean off all the bolts and nuts and washers.
We got all the screws and nuts and washers cleaned off. I needed a new spring clip for the pivot rod on the motor. I got a new screw for the saw insert, so we're gonna put it all back together now. And then we're gonna test the saw again and make sure it works and everything's good. Just putting all the nuts and washers together to make sure I have what I'm supposed to have. So that's the front. So this part goes here. 1, 2, and 3.
When you're putting your equipment back together, make sure you follow the manual. If you don't have one, go online and find one. Just use the model number. That's where I found the manual for this table saw.
I could be putting this on wrong, so if anyone knows that I am, please leave me a comment and tell me the proper way to do it. I couldn't find anywhere that told me how to put a bar wax on a tabletop, and I forgot how my dad told me to do it. So Dad, if you're watching, sorry.
This is actually paraffin wax. It's the same wax they use for canning.
Now I've got the front and back rails to put on that are for the fence.
If you're getting any value out of this, please make sure you subscribe. If your saw has a belt on it like mine, get the tension just right. Follow the instructions. Keep your power cords out of the way so that they don't get cut or hung up on anything.
We got everything together, my blade's straight. I'm gonna lower it all the way down and I'm gonna turn it on and make sure it is still working. First, put something on top of it, just in case it wants to kick up. All right, it is off. We're gonna plug it in. Here we go. Ta-da! And I have a table saw. So if I want to test it, the table saw is done, it's running. So now we're gonna do the planer. There's some rust on the guide rails, so we're gonna clean that up a little bit. I'm not gonna take this one completely apart. I'm gonna get that cleaned up as much as I can. I'm gonna check the blades and then we're gonna test it.
Inspect everything. Does it move freely like it should? Is anything broken or cracked? Give it a good once over.
So it cuts kind of rough, leaves a rough finish. So I'm going to change the blades out and see what that does.
A bonus to getting the free shop equipment is it also came with a free set of blades for the planer.
We finished up the planer, we got it to where we want it, we know it works, and it works well. We changed the blades out, that's all ready. The last piece I have to do is the chop saw. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna build a new stand for this. Making the stand for this will be a different video because I wanna integrate it so that both of them are on the same stand. So let's get to it.
One of the great things about this compound miter saw is that most of it is aluminum, so not a lot of rust. The main reason I use the vinegar solution here is to get any surface rust off the saw bed from other metals that might have been sitting there over the years. One big reason you want to get rid of all this sawdust is that sawdust can be very combustible. You don't want it compacted in your saw, you don't want it in all these locations because if it ever ignites, it will explode. Anytime that you're adjusting equipment or checking to make sure it's lined up properly, keep it unplugged. That's a beautiful cut, nice and square.
Gotta clean the floor. All right, it's numbers time. So for the table saw, we did a lot of research. We could not find one new. We did find one used for $200. The planer was new at $350, and I looked new or used, and the only one I could find was $350. So these planers hold their value. The chop saw is $250. That puts us at $800. Now, don't forget that the stand down here is a rigid. It did not come with this table saw, and that's another $30. So the total cost of buying everything new is $830. We spent about $30 in cleaning supplies to get all this stuff refurbished and put back together. So we're looking at a savings of $800. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Good boy. All right.